Are you ready for the Great Reset? It's the great leap forward of 21st century technocracy. It's time, we are told by the likes of Davos guru, Klaus Schwab, to reboot our passé 18th century ideas about rights, democracy and constitutions, and surrender to the smooth rule of the experts and the climate cultists, not forgetting, of course, their financial advisors. In recent weeks, there's been much talk about the impending The Great Reset, a vision of the World Economic Forum that seeks for global cooperation to simultaneously manage the direct consequences of the COVID-19 crisis. We've heard President-elect Joe Biden speak about his platform to build back better, and notably, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and British Prime Minister Boris Johnson have both used the same phrase in recent speeches. Additionally, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, New Zealand's Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, and Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon have all adopted the same slogan to build back better and fairer and stronger. What does this mean? And why the coordinated chorus of slogans? Cue the Great Reset. Welcome to the Savvy Few. If you are not in support of the Great Reset, please help fight against it by sharing this video so more people can become aware. Are you surprised that the World Economic Forum is using the exact same phrase to build back better? In June, elites at important international institutions, such as the World Economic Forum and the United Nations, launched a far-reaching campaign to reset the global economy. The plan involves dramatically increasing the power of government through expansive new social programs, like the Green New Deal, and using vast regulatory schemes and government programs to coerce corporations into supporting left-wing causes. The two justifications for the proposal, which has been aptly named by its supporters the Great Reset, are the COVID-19 pandemic, the short-term justification, and the so-called climate crisis caused by global warming. The long-term justification, according to the Great Reset supporters, the plan would fundamentally transform much of society. As World Economic Forum head Klaus Schwab wrote back in June, the world must act jointly and swiftly to revamp all aspects of our societies and economies, from education to social contracts and working conditions. Every country, from the United States to China, must participate, and every industry, from oil and gas to tech, must be transformed. In short, we need a great reset of capitalism. Internationally, the Great Reset has already been backed by influential leaders, activists, academics, and institutions. In addition to the World Economic Forum and United Nations, the Great Reset movement counts among its the International Monetary Fund, heads of state, Greenpeace, and CEOs and presidents of large corporations and financial institutions such as Microsoft and MasterCard. But in America, most policymakers, including President-elect Joe Biden, have been relatively quiet about the Great Reset, leaving many to speculate what a Biden administration would do to support or oppose this radical plan. There has been some evidence suggesting that Biden and some of his biggest allies back the Great Reset and would attempt to impose it on the United States. But Biden and his team have never explicitly stated that America would be involved. That is, until now. At a panel discussion about the Great Reset hosted by the World Economic Forum in mid-November, former Secretary of State John Kerry, Biden's would-be special presidential envoy for climate, firmly declared that the Biden administration will support the Great Reset, and that the Great Reset will happen with greater speed and with greater intensity than a lot of people might imagine. When asked by panel host Borge Brend whether the World Economic Forum and other Great Reset supporters are expecting too much too soon from the new president, or is he going to deliver first day on these topics, Kerry responded, "The answer to your question is no, you're not expecting too much. And yes, it will happen," Kerry continued, "and I think it will happen with greater speed and with greater intensity than a lot of people might imagine. In effect, the citizens of the United States have just done a great reset. We've done a great reset, and it was a record level of voting." Kerry later argued that the Great Reset is necessary to slow the climate crisis, and that I know Joe Biden believes it's not enough just to rejoin Paris for the United States. It's not enough for us to just do the minimum of what Paris requires. Kerry also said that because of the Great Reset movement, he believes we're at the dawn of an extremely exciting time, and that the greatest opportunity we have to address social and economic problems is dealing with the climate crisis. These and the other comments made by Kerry at the WEF event are made more important by the fact that Kerry's role in a Biden administration would involve working with the very same international institutions that have already expressed their support for the Great Reset on climate change. This isn't the first time Kerry has thrown his weight behind the Great Reset. At a June World Economic Forum virtual event, Kerry said the coronavirus pandemic was a big moment that opened the door for the Great Reset, and that the World Economic Forum, the CEO capacity of the forum, is really going to have to play a front and center role in refining the Great Reset to deal with climate change and inequity, all of which is being laid bare as a consequence of COVID-19. The evidence is now crystal clear about Biden's connection to the Great Reset. He, John Kerry, and the rest of the Biden administration are planning to bring the Great Reset to the United States. And if they are successful, the country will never be the same. We all have a role to play in fighting against the evil plans by a few elites who seeks to undo democracy. I am doing my part. Will you do your part by sharing this video for more people to become more to wake up? Till our next video, please stay savvy.